Hello, I'm Ron Cook, Tank Equipment Manager here at CSI. Today, I'd like to talk to you a little bit about mixing and shear. Shear is a stress that's applied to the liquid that you're mixing, and that stress can also be considered how much energy you have to put into a system. Some mixing processes require high shear, and some mixing processes don't need nearly as much shear. What you have to consider is, what are you mixing? Are you mixing powders, semi-solids, miscible liquids, or perhaps even creating an emulsion? We'll get to that a little bit later. So we do mixing every day. We do it in our kitchen, we do it in our homes. We often don't think about the process that goes on. So what I'm going to do is recreate what you might see at an industrial scale, but do it on a much smaller scale. For our first experiment today, we're going to be doing a liquid-liquid blend. These two liquids are miscible. That basically just means they're easy to mix together, easy to blend, and they don't separate. Since I can't take you into a factory, I'm going to go ahead and do this experiment here on a small scale. Again, using my spoon to represent low shear blending and a blender to represent high shear. The liquids we're going to be blending today are milk and chocolate syrup. Something I'm sure we've all done 100 times when we were children. So first we're going to start with adding our milk and then taking our chocolate syrup and giving it a good stir. Again, this represents a low shear blending operation. Two liquids, easily mixed, two liquids that are miscible. And you can see a very nice homogeneous blend. Doesn't appear to be any unmixed product on the bottom. This was fairly simple using low shear application. So if we do the same experiment using high shear, you can see that the ingredients blend quite quickly and quite thoroughly. As you can see, a nice homogeneous mix. So you might consider to yourself, well, why wouldn't you use high shear every time? A lot of times this comes down to cost. Low shear options are lower cost. High shear options usually require larger motors, higher energy. So these options for high shear can be 2 or 3 or even 4 times the cost of a low shear option. If your liquids are easily blended, low shear is something that you may want to consider. A low shear option in this case worked just fine.